You know, I've been told lately that the fastest trending and most popular interior design style right now is it's being called the Nancy Meyers design aesthetic. And when I was told that, I'm like, who's Nancy Meyers? She's a producer of movies. Once they told me what the movies were, here were three of them that are ones I've always loved the homes that they're done in, which is actually, turns out it's a set design. They are Something's Gotta Give, The Holiday, and It's Complicated. All three of those movies are iconic in their interior design aesthetic. It's called the Nancy Meyers design, but I would call it the Beth Rubino because she's not the producer of the show, but she's actually the designer. Great job, Beth. All right, today we are going to do something so fun. I can't wait for you guys to see this video because we're going to do the reaction. We're going to watch the movie together, and I'm going to give you my reactions as an interior designer as to the different principles that I see, the methods that they're using, and what you can extrapolate from this movie if you wanted to recreate something like this in your own home. Secondly, I'm going to do a recreation. I'm going to pick one room here in my house and I'm going to completely re-accessorize it and see if I can come up with something a little bit more Nancy Meyers inspired. All right? And then the last thing is I'm going to reveal it to you. So I'm Rebecca Robeson. RR is bringing you the 3 R's today. Do you know when this movie came out? This is what's so funny about it. Oh, now it's a hot trend. This movie is 22 years old. It came out in 2003. And trust me, when it did, it was a revolution and changed the direction from Tuscan and Mediterranean, which was saturating everything, into this light, white, bright, beachy, cozy, warm, friendly, and personal design aesthetic. Let's take a look. There it is. I remember when I saw that for the first time, it took my breath away. I've always loved a Cape Cod home. This is in the South Hamptons, and it's just beautiful. Look at that, those columns, all of it. The exterior itself is incredible. Now we're getting our first look at the interiors. Isn't that beautiful? Love the window treatments in this living room. It's got French doors, 3 sets of French doors all across the back, a huge oversized rug, and then it has built-ins. Now notice the built-ins. They're all white, crown molding, but everything in the built-ins is white or an off-white. It looks like a collection of platters and plates, but it's not too fancy. And I love the fact that the chairs have that super antique-y look about them, but they have slip covers on them in like a green and white. And then notice that the walls are a very soft yellow with all the white trim. It's beautiful. Even there's a black chandelier above that. It's beautiful. So I can narrow it down for me. The rooms that really left a lasting impression, I would have to say the primary bedroom, which is actually my favorite scene in the entire movie. I love, of course, the living room and dining room, but the kitchen is one of the things that I really think put this particular movie on the map. It started the entire design trend for what? White cabinets, glass cabinet doors, soapstone countertops, black hardware and hinges, double islands, and get this, subway tile. Up until this point, subway tile was mostly seen in subways. It wasn't something that people used because it was so inexpensive that you didn't think of it as a high-end luxury choice. This movie put subway tile on the map, in my opinion. Do you see how everything is open in the kitchen? Glass cabinets with, you can see all the dishes. It used to be that you're like, in fact, probably a lot of you today, you would say that's the last thing I want to see is my dishes. But if you had pretty ones, you probably wouldn't feel like that. But everything in this kitchen is highly accessible. And one of the things that I got from this kitchen that I actually used in a couple homes, in fact, we'll show you a couple of pictures of projects I did after I was inspired by this, to take the vertical parts between the cabinets and create corbels that came down almost to the countertop. You're also going to see awesome subway tile that goes all the way to the underside of the cabinet. You guys have been seeing me do this for absolutely years. And that to me is what really makes this kitchen stand out. In the design sessions, we call it flow. And that's where you don't have a a kick plate or a backsplash that's 4 to 6 inches high on your countertops. I like to start my tile right at the countertop and take it all the way up, and it's a good 18 inches is the standard height between a countertop and the bottom of the upper cabinets. She's got her coffee maker out on the countertop. See, what these guys did here with this design, and the reason I love it so much, is it gives us permission to not have a house that is always perfect. I mean, you look in my kitchen right now, and my countertops are pretty empty. I don't keep very many appliances out. I keep them as clean and uncluttered as possible. But this almost says, hey, it can still be beautiful if you have great bowls, and she's even got a scale sitting on there. I love this scene. Favorite scene when it comes to giving us a glimpse at the accessorizing that is done in this beach house. You'll notice the shells. There's also coral, but one of the things I love about it is how they display it. You'll see a lot of candles, tapered candles, sand underneath, shells on top of it with a column candle. So you see different heights, and they're all clear. When someone says, have you seen Something's Gotta Give? Of course I think of the kitchen because it was so revolutionary at the time. But what I really think of is the first view we had in her master retreat, where she had her desk. It was kind of her little office area. Is that just, to me, that right there is perfection. If you love this look and you want to recreate it, what can you do to pull some of these elements in? What stands out to you? To me, the window treatments. So she's got a very soft, it's probably similar to the color of the paint, it looks to me like, because it's standing off against the woodwork. But look at those windows, they're amazing. And then transoms above it. She's put woven wood grass cloth type shades for protection, I'm sure, of the sun during the day, but left the transoms open. So how can you recreate this? Well, I can tell you right now, the room I'm sitting in is my family room, and I have stationary panels on substantial dark black rods, and mine are grommeted, so they hang very similarly. But each window in here, you know how much it cost me? Each window cost me about $120, including the cost of the rod, because my panels are from Amazon. So if you don't have window treatments that go to the ceiling and drop all the way to the floor, and don't sit on the windows themselves, but sit on the walls, if you're not doing that, I can see why you're probably not totally happy with your home. But if you want to get this look, this aesthetic, that is key, the window treatments. Now, on these 3 windows here at this desk area, she's got a lamp on the desk, a pendant light hanging above it, and then to the left and right, you can barely see it because they're on the side walls. Those are built-ins. Her desk is actually a working desk. She's got papers and Post-it notes all over the place, things stacked on top of each other. And then she's got some fresh flowers on her desk. I love that. Take a look at that bookcase. Now, I want to recreate this, but I don't have all those different size books. And I'm going to recreate this without spending any money. I'm going to borrow 2 things to get the look, but I'm not going to spend any money. I'm going to use everything I currently have. So after watching this, guess what I decided? I told you that I'm also going to recreate this look in a room in my home. I already have built-ins on the left and right. I have windows in the center. I have a desk in the middle of that area. So while I don't have room for window treatments, I do have shutters that kind of give that paned window look. So what do you think? I basically ran over the elements that I think make this house so fabulous. And now I'm going to go upstairs to my primary retreat next to my bedroom, and I'm going to recreate this look in my home. Five top tips I'm going to give you today. The first one is try and use any kind of architecture you have. In my case, I happen to be lucky that I have these surrounding, very symmetrical bookcases in this area, in this retreat. You'll see that I kept the books, but everything else has been made completely empty and ready for me to get going. All right? Let's do this. Step number 2, to bring in a large, overly washed, vintage looking, oversized area rug. Look at this piece of art that I have from my mother. So it's bringing in something old. The rug is borrowed at the moment, but that may not be forever because I might want to just buy it. I love it. How do I hang this thing? I need a handyman. Over here. Within the category of accessorizing, I include things like lamps. That would be floor lamps, table lamps, any kind of lighting that's not already in the ceiling. And this is a very vintage lamp, so I think this might give me the look. Oh, I think that works. Just barely. Okay, super comfortable. I'm liking how this is coming together. These are little buffet lamps that I bought at Amber Marine Company last year. And I wanted to put them back there on what could be a window seat rather than on my table. But the cords are all dark and there's no immediate way to plug them in without this dark cord being seen. So yesterday I went out and I spray painted these cords white, at least for the main section. I will address these cords, or I might even just stick them under here. That's a great idea. Good Lord. Just remember when you're putting your shades on, find where the seam is and aim it towards, well, away from you so it's not part of your view. A throw pillow. So cute. That gives it kind of almost that grandma vibe. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with grandma or grandma vibes. A throw. A large cable knit with the pom-poms. Now I'm going to bring in a bunch of accessories that I pulled that fit within this theme, this scheme of kind of this like Cape Cod looking beach house that was done for Something's Gotta Give movie, of course. I pulled them. They're all things that I've owned as well as the things I just brought in. And I'm gonna lay them on the table here, and then I'm gonna start working on accessorizing the bookcases. Alexa, turn on bedroom. Oh, it's so cute. And just like in the movie, I've got white river rock or pebbles that you might find at the beach that I'm gonna put in something. This is a pretty little piece of art. Do you remember how in the movie we saw that she used a lot of candles? She used candles that were like this in a glass container, but she also used a lot of tapers. So I got all my clear candle holders. So you'll see that I'm like mixing some antique-y things with some modern clean lines, and that's the idea of layering these looks. I've been collecting shells for years. Each one of these shells is so unique and beautiful. All right, here's one thing I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start breaking these up. I thought I had no colored books, but I do. My mother actually painted this. Look at that shell. That's amazing.
Where did you get most of these books?
Most of them, Salvation Army. I would go to the 25-cent sale every month. the harp right here is facing the front, so it's creating a shadow. But if I switch the angle of the lamp so that the harp is now see-through, of course I need to rotate my seam, but I think that looks better. Shake it up and not make it look so perfect, because honestly that's this look, is perfect imperfection.
Eyes wide open, take it all in.
Okay, so what do you think? I replicated the same look in my own master retreat. You saw what it looked like before, and I'm telling you that this style has become so iconic. What's iconic about this style is the use of all the built-ins and the crown and base molding, so there's a lot of detail. Also, this is a more gathered over time. It looks like you have things that were handed down to you or that you brought from your early childhood, which I do have. So my rendition and my version of this look is very similar. I'm using the same principles that they did in the movie. However, I have an inordinate amount of coastal type accessories. Why? Well, I guess because I lived in California for so long, but also my house was designed in a coastal style for many years. So I have so many shells and coral and geodes and sea fans. I was able to bring those out. Now remember, in the movie, we don't see her use those kinds of accessories as much as what you're going to see here in this room. But my plan for today was to show you how you can take and achieve this look in your own home using what you already have. Could I go out and replicate it perfectly? Absolutely I could. But what I did was I pulled out things I already owned, moved my books around, and tried to create the similar feel and aesthetic. So I'm going to take you through the room and show you just exactly what I did and how I gave it my twist based on what I already have. Two things that I did get new for this project. One is the area rug, which you're going to love. Wait till you see it. The second thing is this upholstered chair behind me. Now, I borrowed them just to make this movie, but you know what? I'm really tempted to purchase them because honestly, I feel like I'm home. One of the things I really love about Beth Rubino's design choices for this particular movie, and actually the other two that we're going to be looking at in the next couple weeks, is that she gives us permission to live, to not have your house look camera ready at every minute. She's suggesting that this is camera ready. Why? Because this is real life. This is what I do. And I've got my design session stuff here, all of my stuff for Christmas 2025 that I've selected, and my consultations that I do, my course content. I'm writing a course, which is going to be fabulous. And it gives me my whole calendar in paper. You know, that's a mistake, right? They say don't ever have a paper calendar and one on your phone and one on your computer. I have all three. It's a wonder I ever make it to any of my appointments. So many of you have been in love with my acrylic angel, as have I, I think I've had her like 18 to 20 years. And everybody asks every year, doesn't matter how, I put her in absolutely every Christmas. I don't remember a Christmas she's not been in. Well, she has not been available on the market for at least 15 years. I've not seen, actually since I bought her, I've never seen her again. So here's the reason. We went and found out through the manufacturer who did her originally why they're not making her anymore. Because if they did, people would buy her. And they said that the cost of acrylic, the cost of the materials to make her has gone up 3 times since I bought her. Now I paid over $200 for her 18 years ago. What's crazy is we were able to talk this manufacturer into beginning to make her again. Amber and Jerry at Amber Marine Company, they have gotten contracts that they will make 69 of this girl. So if you do the math, I would think that she'd cost $600 now, right? If I paid $200 and it's gone up 3 times, she's actually less than $400. So yes, she is not cheap, but yes, she is worth it. This is an investment piece for your Christmas decor that you will never regret. I have not regretted. But the best news is we're able to get it done again. And I thought she would be like, you'd never be able to get your hands on her again. Well, now you can. I'm sure we'll put a link in the description down here where to go if you want to get her. She has to be pre-ordered. Once 69 of them have been sold, I think that's it. So you need to purchase it as soon as you can, and it will be here in October for you to have to put into your Christmas decorations this year. I'm now available. That's what she's saying. Take a look at this. I love this idea with a tray here. This is my grandmother's leaded glass cut crystal pitcher that I put white hydrangeas in. Oh, is that just gorgeous or what? I love that. That's one of my favorite pieces. And it's a family heirloom. Along with pictures, I've got my Bible here, so I have my quiet time in the morning. But back here, instead of having the window treatments, which I would have loved to have, I decided to put 2 lamps. Now here's where you'll see something that is more symmetrical than you're seeing in the movie. You'll also see one thing that's different here. Like I said, this is my version of the look. In the movie, all the lampshades, most of them are a bell shape, right? I've been telling a lot of you to get rid of your bell-shaped lampshades for years now because they've been completely out. We've gone to the more modern look. That's what I'm using, but if you wanted to really get the look, you could replace your shades and do something like this. So one of the things that makes an accessory extravaganza successful is knowing your heights. Had this sat down on the ground as it did in the first place, it would have stopped here and there would have been so much extra space here. At that point, I would have either added another shelf so that I could put things up here, but I didn't want to. I wanted to leave this open, so I've raised it up because you want, look, this amount of space here and here is quite similar and it feels good. And then, of course, you have different heights down here, odd numbers of accessories and items. I'll let you take a look here as well, and you can see how the 2 sides, although they are not twins, they are definitely cousins or in the same family. Oh, I'm missing a book. Well, that's okay. It's around here somewhere. But the reason it's okay is because this isn't about perfection. It's about enjoyment of looking at a space and it just sort of taking you back or taking you away or giving you a sense of peace. That's what I see in this warm and cozy look. At one point, I was trying to create a bar effect. I have a bar cart. It just wouldn't fit right in the room, so I decided to use this area here. So again, you're going to see the collection of the clear decanters, not the antique-y ones, but then the glasses are the cut glass. And I set them up, look at this. These are the kinds of things that will help you when you're accessorizing. If that had sat like that, it kind of looks like, what's going on here? I used black books to prop this up, and you'll see that I have the C fan that does coordinate with that one over there, but they're not the same size, they're not in the same location, but it does connect. Anyway, by adding this here on the wood, I feel like it gives it a little bit more prominence, and clear on cream kind of goes away to a certain degree. This is now me interpreting what Beth Rubino, who actually was the set designer for this movie. So I give her a huge round of applause. She doesn't get anywhere near the credit that she deserves. Be sure to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about how my room turned out. Should I keep it this way or should I go back to the way it was before? Also, is it news to you, the name Nancy Meyers? I mean, I know these movies, but I didn't know her, so I'm glad I know who she is now. Again, a special thumbs up to Beth Rubino, who apparently is the actual set designer, the actual designer of the projects. And a very special thank you and shout out to Amati Rugs here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. These guys are amazing. They've been involved in a number of my videos, and they provided this rug for me today. And if you guys say I should keep my room this way, this video is going to cost me some money. But not too much, because their prices are really great. And these are all handmade. Also, Interior is the furniture store right next door where this chair is from. And you know what? This swivels. I love this too. Oh yeah, this could be one of my more expensive videos I've done in a while. But everything else was free. So remember those most important design points that you need to keep in mind. Number 1, oversized area rugs make all the difference in the world. Number 2, the architecture, the crown molding, base molding, built-ins, bookcase, things like that that create your overall structure is super important in this design aesthetic. Number 3, all your furniture should be covered in neutral shades. Number 4, accessorizing is so important. And then number 5, finish it all off with some fresh plants, maybe a glass vase full of sea glass or little pebbles or shells. That kind of thing looks great. All right, those are the 5 tips. Oh yeah, wait, the most important, and I didn't get to do it in this room, but do not miss this point. If you're going to try and replicate this Nancy Meyers aesthetic, window treatments are key. So remember to take your window treatments to the top and to the floor. They go on the walls, not the windows, and keep the colors of the window treatments, at least in this aesthetic, very neutral and light colored. Don't go sheer, I'm just saying. All right, you guys, I will see you next time at the next movie where we cover The Holiday. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bless yourself.
Do you want to enable dictation? You're not writing anything, so maybe we should just enable dictation.